As expected, no one here. My parents are in the throne room ruling the lands. Or rather, Mother is. A fairly small, unattractive tree.
Huh. I'd like to see how attractive you'd look if someone disturbed you on the pot in the morning.
You mean...
Anyway, what can I do for you, my little beauty?
The garden always looks fantastic, Arbor.
Thank you. It's a girt load of work. People always think elf gardens are fabulous by their very nature. But you need a mighty good gardener.
You have got green fingers.
Ah, that's just moss, my dear. Happens if you spend all day grubbing around in the earth and don't wash your hands properly in the evenings.
You tree shepherds do a great job.
Tree shepherds? The trees just stand there. Why do they need a shepherd? However, I quite fancy one of those shepherd dogs. Hey, Rex, do you want to be my shepherd dog? Nah, my darling. I'm a gardener. Nothing more, nothing less.
What are you up to today, then? Got much on?
Oh, the usual. You know, it never rains in the Elfborough, but the flowers need their water, so I water them every day.
Ah, the curse of good weather.
The weather isn't the only thing which isn't right. I've been here 30 years, and for 30 years we've had autumn.
Time passes differently in the Elfborough. Slower.
Well, that's why everyone grows to be ancient here, obviously. But if we had a bit of normal weather and the usual seasons, there'd be a lot more variety here.
You and Father, you get along well, don't you?
Ah, no one understands more about nature than him, that's for sure. But I don't often ask him for help. Thinking has never got a field dug, if you get my drift.
He's just more of a theorist.
Ah, the mud on your feet, the smell of fresh earth, all that joy and life. And he's missing out on the lot by just sitting around up there and doing nubbit.
Mother put me on a diet this morning so that I'll look perfect for my wedding.
Oh, everything has to be perfect for her. No such thing in nature, of course. Or rather, everything is perfect if you just let nature run its course.
You tell that to Mother.
I have, many times. She be very clever in some things, but very daft concerning that.
Now then, she is the Queen.
I'm old enough to be able to call a spade a spade. Spade, gardener, get it?
I have to get on.
Yep, got a bit to do myself. I just don't know what's wrong with that plant over there. Your mother got a whole heap of flowers given to her the other day from a fairy delegation. All of them took good and strong, just not that one.
Perhaps it needs a special type of soil or something.
Well, anything's possible. If I don't think of something soon, I'll have to ask your father. He can have a little chat with her and she might tell him what's up.
If you're going in, it'd be nice if you didn't tell my mother that you saw me out here.
Oh, you playing hooky again? My lips are sealed.
A lovely spot, so long as the bees who have built their hive directly above the bench don't disturb you. It doesn't look very well at all. It's unusual for flowers to hang their heads in this garden. Normally they blossom in our good earth, not to mention the power of Arbor's green fingers. Mother thought it was unseemly of the bees to build their hive in our garden. I don't think she could get used to the thought that she would no longer be the only queen here. This is Mother's mirror. It's said that you can see into the furthest corners of the land and know what's happening in every part of the world. At the moment, it's no more than a shallow bowl. The water's missing. I don't know the names of all the plants in the garden. Grandmother knows them all, which is probably down to the fact that it was her that gave many of the plants their names a few thousand years ago. shite beerwood, sweat tea, dodder flower, fat hen, bistort, stink root. We no longer invite her to family gatherings. A handy smooth stone, Arbor's sheepdog. Arbor's pot, literally. There's only a little water left in the bird bath. Cheep Cheep always says that it evaporates quickly. I, however, think that the constant need to replenish the water is more down to his unbridled joyous splashing and not insignificant body mass. That's a weeping willow. It appears to be so content it looks anything but sad. The spring brook emerges up there. It's still small here, but it becomes one of the largest and most important rivers in the woodland realm. There are elf-made ponds and streams all over the palace ground. Their water's said to have healing powers. No wonder considering where it comes from. That leads up to the throne room. Mother will be conducting the affairs of state with an iron will, whilst Pa leans against the tree of life, probably sleeping. A few years ago, this dragon was causing a whole lot of grief. A bounty was put on its head, and all heroes of the land were encouraged to hunt it down. 40 brave warriors penetrated its lair and slew it. They brought the head to the palace where it was displayed in triumph. The strange thing was that a bit later more adventurers came carrying an identical head. Then more and more heroes arrived. A great example of the variety of our world's fauna. Some of the ideas Mother Nature has can be quite off the wall. Several books about animals, an atlas, a book about humans, actually more of a brochure. And what's this? Fishing for the moderately talented. I haven't really got the time to sit and read a book, and if I had, it would definitely not be one about fishing. There must be a medical book for elves here somewhere. A present from one of the northern kingdoms. Strange folk up there. The men climb mountains and shout foul-mouthed things in dragon's language at the dragons. I think it's some kind of test of courage. The Biggest Plant Book of Avantasia by Charles Mendel with illustrations by Alexander Bonpland. A standard reference book that Arbor always used to consult every now and then. However, he insists that he now knows it off by heart. There's a selection of cubes here. For a while, it was all the rage at official state visits to give geometric presents. Swords of all the idiots who have tried to conquer the elf burrow. It's become less frequent over the last few centuries. Humans and dwarves appear to have learnt their lesson. What have we got here then? Aha! Ah! Almanac of Elf Medicine. That's what I've been looking for.
Ow!
Be careful, if you please.
A speaking book?
An ill elf?
Ill elf? So I look ill. What's wrong with me?
Take it easy, young one thing at a time.
Young one. I'm older than you.
And you look it too.
I do?
No, of course not, and I can also see no illness. But the mere fact that I've been fished out from the back of the shelf for the first time in centuries tells me that something is wrong.
I haven't been feeling too well recently. I'm sleeping badly and have no appetite. I know that elves are very seldom ill, but if it's not that, then it must be some kind of magic or curse.
Seldom ill does not actually mean never ill. Elves can, for instance, suffer from a broken heart.
Oh, please.
It is one of the most common causes of death amongst beautiful princesses.
Oh, it must be something else.
Sensitive elves can sometimes suffer from the pains of the world. There are a variety of ear infections, and of course it could also be lupus. But I think it is something else.
Like what?
To be completely certain, you must mix a potion and drink it.
Are you serious?
Very.
Are you actually qualified to make a diagnosis? And why can you talk?
I am a magical medicine book. That actually serves as an answer to both of your questions.
I've never encountered a talking book before.
Of course not. I am the only talking book here. That's the problem. In the magical library in Seastone, all books can talk. Things really get cooking there, believe me.
You were probably given to us by someone from Seastone, right?
Right. I was a complete idiot and actually volunteered. As I am a book about elf medicine, I didn't get much to do in Seastone. I thought to myself, hey, this is your chance to get some practical experience. Wrong.
Yeah, we elves don't get ill much.
And more than that, you don't actually have much time for books. This is the center of the Elven Kingdom, and just look at how paltry this library is.
We don't have much use for books. We sing songs about times past, and many of us were there at the time.
Then that's probably also the reason why so many elves stand around in white.
What do you mean?
Allow me to elucidate. Over the years, the songs you elves sing will be changed and adapted, a little here, a little there. This editorial process is nothing more than refined elvish propaganda, presenting them as intelligent and morally impeccable. And who can prove otherwise? There are no other witnesses and there are no books.
I demand to know this instant what sort of illness... What goes in it?
It is very easy to make. You need to pound together the green fruit of a metis bush, a spoonful of honey and a red herring, and then mix with water into a viscous potion.
Oh, that sounds revolting.
It's medicine. It isn't supposed to taste nice.
And if I drink it, I'll be well again?
We will then at least know what is wrong with you.
This metis bush, where can I find one?
Haven't a clue. I'm just a book and have spent years sandwiched between dusty hymnals and a tome of revolting recipes.
A red herring? Are you serious?
Of course, why not? Red herrings are known all over the land as particularly useful fish. Their uses in the areas of medicine, cuisine, and literature are too numerous to mention.
All right, so I've got a red herring. What are the potions in?
The green fruit of a metis bush. You have to put everything into a...
Thank you. I think that's all for now.
Normally, it's me that ends patient consultations. You are only a princess, but I am a doctor.
This flower clearly is one of the more exotic of the palace's flowers. It comes from a country in the deep south. It's said that the flower of this plant used